Good morning everyone from Teesside International Airport. Very shortly I will be boarding the 8:20 Ryanair flight direct to Corfu. For 2 weeks of exploring Corfu and the surrounding islands of Paxos, Antipaxos, Kefalonia and Ithaca. Travelling light, as always, and on a budget. So let's kick off this budget tour of Corfu and the surrounding islands with some basic facts. Teesside Airport to Corfu, return 2 weeks, £71.68. No check-in baggage, just a backpack and my walking poles. Let's go and explore Corfu on a budget. Landed in Corfu, slightly overdressed. It was cold and raining when I left Teesside this morning, but it is now, I'm guessing, mid to high 30s. So I'm gonna get myself on a bus down to Benitez and walk the final 1.5 miles up to the village of Dafnata, which is where I'm staying for the first 2 days. It's easy when you get to the airport just to jump in a taxi or get a airport transfer bus or minibus, but that can seriously eat into your budget on day one. And as this, my friends, is Corfu on a budget, I'm going to find the bus stop and I'm going to take the bus down to Benitez, which I believe is down this way. So why don't you come with me and let's get on our way around Corfu on a budget. So as you can see, I'm still slightly overdressed, but I'm now away from the airport. I've learned something new today. You catch a bus from Corfu Airport to the bus station. It takes about 5 minutes and it's just €2 one way. And from the bus station you can pick up the green buses and you can also pick up the Corfu city buses, which are known as blue buses. So I'm now just waiting for the blue bus to come along and that will take me down to Benitez. And when I find out how much that's going to cost me, I'll jump back on and I'll let you know. I'm also a little bit blown away today, guys, because I've just been stopped at Corfu Airport by a couple who recognised me from YouTube. How about that? I'm not normally made up by stuff like that, to be honest, but it was a lovely couple called Steve Chilton and his wife who watched my series of films about walking the Corfu Trail, and they recognised me at border control, at passport control. And I then caught up with them on the bus as well, and we were having a good chat. And they thanked me ever so much for all the effort and the work that I put into making that series of films. And I've promised that we will continue to keep in touch as we have done. But to be spotted at the airport for being a mediocre YouTube has made my day. So there we go. Anyway, I'm going to wait in the very, very warm sunshine in my hoodie for the blue bus to Benitez, and I'll see you all when I get there. So my friends, this is the building you're looking for. This is the Corfu Green Bus Terminal. And from here you can pick up the green buses, OVS, and just here is the blue bus station. And I've just learned something new again, that it's the number 6 bus to Benitez, which should be along shortly, hopefully. Also, here is a really useful map of Corfu town, the historical centre. So if you're thinking of going the other way, check out this map. It will give you some really good information as to where to head for when you get to Corfu town. So let me show you around. First little pano from the island of Corfu. My new series of films, Corfu on a budget. And just to bring you up to speed, I've so far spent £71 just over on my flights and €2 for the bus from Corfu Airport to the Green Bus Terminal. And I'm really looking forward to getting on this bus because all the buses have got aircon. It is roasty toasty. And yeah, my next stop is Benitzes, and then I'm just going to take a short stroll up the hill, about half an hour, to the village of Dafnata, where I'll meet my old friend Costas, where I will stay tonight and tomorrow. The plan for tomorrow is to do a day hike somewhere. I've got a rough idea of what I'm going to do and where I'm going to go, but I'll sit down this evening over a beer and plan out tomorrow's agenda. But I know this evening is going to be a trip back down into Benitzes, and I'm going to spoil myself to a nice restaurant meal on the seafront somewhere. So there you go, Corfu Green Bus Terminal, €2 from the airport. Okay, hot, hot, hot. And as you can see, I'm slightly more appropriately dressed for the island of Corfu now. I've ditched my hoodie, which is now tied around my waist, because I've just realised now that I've got no room in my rucksack for it. So I'm going to have to rethink my packing strategy when I get to the village of Dafnata and catch up with my old friend Costas. So, I've arrived in Benitzes on the number 6 blue bus from the bus station, the green bus station just outside Corfu town and Corfu airport. €2.50. Standing room only when I got on the bus, but within 5-10 minutes I was able to sit down. The bus journey took about 20 minutes, aircon all the way, lovely jubbly, and let me show you around. And if you're new here to Corfu, Benitzes back in the 80s and the 90s used to be the party hotspot along with Kavos. Not anymore. It's just more like a sleepy fishing village, which is what it used to be many years ago. So it's on the east side of the island. It's very calm. I've already spotted the masts just there of the sailing yachts, which are moored up in Benitzes Marina, so I think I'll go and check them out later today. But now I'm going to go and get myself something to eat, because I haven't eaten anything yet since I had breakfast back in Blighty this morning, which was about 6:45. But oh boy, it feels good to be back on the beautiful green island. And it's quiet. I was expecting it to be busy. I like it. It's easy to see why, once you've visited Corfu, the beautiful green island, you're just drawn back to this fascinating place again and again and again. Now, I've spotted the gyros shop, so I'm going to go and treat myself to a pork or chicken gyros. I'm going to go and see what refreshments they've got in the supermarket, and then I'm going to start the half-hour hill climb up to the village of Dafnata and surprise my old buddy Costas at Costas Walker's place. See you all in a short while. So far, so marvellous. Good evening from the very, very peaceful village of Dafnata. So, this explore around Corfu was always going to be a little bit random, a little bit off-grid. And I was expecting things to change. And a lot has changed today, because I spoke earlier in my video that I was going to head down into Benitzes this evening for a restaurant meal by the coast. But in fact, I've actually decided just to stay in the village of Dafnata. I've just eaten at Costa's place, the Walker's Point, and I've just been enjoying some beers, and the Retzinas are now being served. So I thought now would be an appropriate time to jump back on and let you know how I'm getting on so far with Corfu on a budget. So let's have a little recap, shall we? Teesside Airport to Corfu, just over 70 quid. Return, no baggage, just a small backpack. I've spent so far €4.20 on buses. that's down to Benitzes. And then I walked from Benitzes up to the village of Dafnata, and we'll come back to that in a minute. Before I started my walk up to the village of Dafnata, I stopped at the supermarket and I bought a small bottle of water for €0.50. Water apparently is limited in terms of what they can charge, which I think is great. And I bought 1.5 litres of Retsina for €4.80. That's in my room, and that's in the fridge, keeping cold what's left of it. And I've just eaten at Costa's place, and I had a chicken gyros or pork gyros. I'm not sure what it was, but either way it was great, with chips and salad and pita bread. And I'm just now enjoying a few drinks with the locals that frequent Costa's place in the village. And it's so peaceful up here, guys. I don't think I could face going down into Benitzes. So another reason why not to go down into Benitzes. The walk up from Benitzes to Dafnata, albeit only 3 kilometers, but I think they're selling you short there, to be honest. It is grueling, whether you go on the road or whether you take the hillside trails, which are part of the Corfu walking trails. It is hard work. Now, I'm an experienced hiker. For my age, I consider myself to be fit and very agile, but it was really, really hard work. So if you do decide to stay in the village of Dafnata, on the east coast of Corfu, just up the hillside from Benitzes, don't consider walking up from Benitzes to Dafnata. It is really, really hard work. And the temperatures here now are starting to cool down, but it's still high 20s. It's 26, 28. When I was walking up from Benitzes, it was 38 degrees. So I was having to stop quite often, and the heat was unbearable. Probably not best to start your first day on the island of Corfu with a 3 kilometer uphill, almost vertical hike. So I'm going to head back to Costa's place, which is just down here. Let me show you around the village of Dafnata. There's Costa's place just there. And the road that I'm on now is actually part of the Corfu Trail. And just down there is where the Corfu Trail joins the village of Dafnata. So down there is a dead end, and then going back this way, down there is the Corfu Trail, and then it goes off in all sorts of different directions and eventually joins the track or the mountain path that takes you up to Mount Agiadeca. So yeah, so far so good, and I'm managing to stick to my budget, which is around 20 to 30 euros a day. My accommodation at Costa's place is already paid for. I will obviously be billed for my food and my drinks when I leave, which is in 2 days' time. But I'm really glad that I didn't go down into Benitzes tonight. I'm absolutely loving it up in this quiet little village, and just have a little look at the beautiful floral canopies that you would expect from this beautiful green island. So guys, I'm going to go back and enjoy my newly made friends and my new subscribers to my channel, and I will probably see you all tomorrow morning sometime. The plan for tomorrow is to head on out on maybe a bit of a day hike. I'll see what the weather's like tomorrow, because I did struggle a little bit today in the heat, but that's to be expected on your first day when you're out hiking in a hilly and hot country. So stay with me as I continue to explore Corfu and the islands on a budget. Namaste, and I'll see you all tomorrow.